Every mythical dragon explained, ranked by weirdness. The Western Dragon, the baseline. You think you know what a dragon is. 4 legs, 2 wings, breathes fire, hoards gold. Wrong. That's a Victorian art error that D&D accidentally canonized. Historically, most dragons in Western Europe were wyverns. 2 legs, 2 wings, serpentine body. The distinction matters. A wyvern is a flying snake. A 4-legged dragon is an anatomical impossibility that medieval bestiaries never actually described. The word dragon comes from Greek drakon, meaning serpent or sharp-sighted one, referring to its unblinking gaze, not fire breath. Romans called them Draco. Both terms mean serpent. Legs optional, wings rare, fire added later. Take St. George and the Dragon from the Golden Legend, 13th century. A town in Libya feeds sheep, then children, to a lake-dwelling dragon. When the princess is chosen, George wounds it with his lance, and she leads it back with her belt like a leash dog. George offers to kill it if they convert to Christianity. They do. 15,000 baptisms. The dragon wasn't a monster, it was a metaphor for paganism. George didn't fight a creature, he fought a propaganda tool, probably based on a Nile crocodile someone got creative about. If Skyrim's dragons are Hollywood blockbusters with million-dollar special effects, historical Western dragons are community theater with cheap rubber props and visible wires. Fafnir, the warning. Fafnir wasn't born a dragon. He was a dwarf. His father, Hreidmar, received cursed gold as blood money from Odin and Loki. Fafnir killed his father in his sleep, took the hoard, and fled to a wasteland. There, alone with his greed, he stopped being a person. The Volsunga saga, 13th century Iceland, never describes the transformation. Fafnir is a dwarf in one chapter, and Ormur, worm, in the next. The mutation is psychological. His body follows his mind. Sigurd kills him by digging a pit and stabbing upward into his soft belly. Cowardly? Maybe. Effective? Absolutely. But dying Fafnir speaks. Who are you? Sigurd lies, fearing a curse. Fafnir laughs. The gold will kill you too. When Sigurd tastes Fafnir's blood while roasting his heart, he gains the ability to understand birds. They immediately warn him of betrayal. Fafnir's blood is a hidden shortcut to knowledge and paranoia. The Eigish High Almer, Helm of Awe, isn't a physical helmet. It's a rune sigil Fafnir projects, radiating terror. You don't fight him with strength, you fight him with courage. Most fail the test of will. Fafnir is a walking nightmare. Your physical strength doesn't matter. Your mental fortitude does. He's fear-made flesh, and his dying words spoil the ending. But if Fafnir's weird, the next one's a biological nightmare. The Hydra, the biological error. The Lernaean Hydra isn't a dragon, it's a cancer metaphor. Hesiod's Theogony, 700 BCE, mentions a many-headed serpent, but later writers got competitive. Pausanias, 2nd century CE, claims it had 1 head, while others inflated it to 9. By Ovid's time, it regenerated 2 heads for every one severed. That's not magic. That's uncontrolled cell division. Hercules shoots flaming arrows into its swamp cave. Bad idea. The Hydra emerges. He hacks off a head. 2 grow back. Another falls. 4 heads now. The math is exponential. The fight is unwinnable. Then Hera sends Karkinos, a giant crab, to pinch his foot mid-battle. This is objectively hilarious. Hercules crushes it. Hera puts the crab in the sky as cancer. Participation trophy. Pausanias speculated the regeneration was metaphor for a many-headed serpent or venomous strikes that appeared multi-headed. He's doing damage control for Greek biology. Hercules calls his nephew Iolaus, who brings a torch. Every severed head gets cauterized. Heat denatures proteins, stops cell division. The Hydra dies from surgical oncology with fire. The final immortal head gets buried under a boulder. The blood becomes poison. Hercules dips his arrows in it. Later, this poison kills him. Irony. The Hydra is a monster with a fatal flaw. If you don't bring fire to the fight, you hit a stalemate. The crab is a distraction tactic. Figure it out or start over. The gargoyle, the comic relief. The gargoyle terrorized 7th century Rouen, France. It didn't breathe fire, it vomited water. It lived in the Seine and regurgitated river water to flood towns. A living plumbing disaster. Gargoyle comes from Old French gargouiller, to gurgle, a word that imitates a sound for water through a channel. The dragon was the river, personified. Saint Romanus volunteers to deal with it. The legend, recorded in ancient holy biographies, including the Golden Legend, says he uses his ceremonial stole as a leash. He confronts the dragon, makes the sign of the cross, and it submits. He parades it through Rouen streets like a circus animal. They burn it. The body burns. The head and neck don't. Tempered by the dragon's own flames, except it never breathed fire. Logic collapses. Solution? Mount the fireproof neck on the cathedral as a drainage spout. This is the origin of the gargoyle, architectural water spouts shaped like demons. The word gargoyle is the dragon's name. Every Gothic cathedral has gargoyles. A French water dragon became the foundation of medieval architecture. The gargoyle is a goldfish that learned to flood a city. Non-threatening but historically significant. It got downgraded into a garden ornament. Next up, a dragon that doesn't even need wings. The Chinese loong, the divine. Western dragons are chaotic evil. The Chinese loong is lawful neutral. It has no wings. It flies via the Jormungandr, a metaphysical pearl in its skull or throat that resonates with Qi, the cosmic life force. It ascends through vibrational harmony, not aerodynamics. The loong doesn't fly, it ascends. Earliest depictions, Shang Dynasty, 1600 BCE, show pig-snouted serpents with deer antlers. The modern lion-maned version is a Han Dynasty, 206 BCE to 220 CE, redesign, a visual reboot after 1,400 years. The loong controls weather, rivers, and imperial authority. Emperors wore 5-clawed dragon robes. Only the emperor could wear 5 claws. High nobility got 4. Commoners caught with 5-clawed imagery were executed for treason. IP enforcement via death penalty. Why do Japanese dragons have 3 claws while Chinese have 5? The myth, dragons originated in China with 5 claws. Traveling east to Korea, they lost 1. By Japan, 3 remained. Traveling west, they'd gain claws. It's cultural superiority baked into design. The loong is a vehicle that flies without fuel. It ascends because the universe permits it. It's the master key to the universe in dragon form. The Bakunawa, the eater. Philippine mythology's Bakunawa, a sea serpent that eats the moon. Literally. There were 7 moons. The Bakunawa ate 6. We're down to 1. The Boxer Codex, 1590s, records that during eclipses, pre-colonial Filipinos banged pots, gongs, and drums to frighten it away. The ritual worked every time because the moon always returned. A/B testing as theology. The myth varies, sometimes male, jealous of the moon's beauty, sometimes female, a grieving goddess. In Visayan lore, a giant turtle, Ka Si Li, battles it. What's consistent? The Bakunawa is hangry, not evil, petty, jealous, cosmically hungry. Imagine 7 moons, apocalyptic tides, nights bright as dawn, collapsed agriculture. The Bakunawa didn't destroy the world eating 6, it saved it. We should thank the potbangers for stopping at 1. It has a mouth the size of a lake, whiskers like oars, body coiling around islands. During eclipses, it surfaces, jaws open, pulling the moon into the sea. The ocean boils, sky darkens. A grandmother bangs a pot, spit it out. The Bakunawa is an unstoppable force with a weakness. Fail the time challenge of making noise? The moon's gone and disaster strikes. Jormungandr, the Ouroboros. Jormungandr, the Midgard serpent, encircles the world and bites his tail. He's not a threat while biting it. He's a containment system. His body is the boundary of reality. If he lets go, Ragnarok begins. The laws of physics collapse. The ancient Norse text Prose Edda, written around 1220 CE, tells his origin. The god Odin threw the infant serpent into the ocean because of a prophecy. Jormungandr grew so large he wrapped around the entire world and bit his own tail, an image called an Ouroboros, a serpent eating itself. He's not decorative, he's structural. He holds reality together. The fishing trip, Thor, disguised, joins giant Hymir on a boat. Thor uses an ox head as bait. Jormungandr bites. The line goes taut. Thor pulls. The serpent rises. Hymir sees its eyes, black, endless, void, and panics. He cuts the line. Thor almost kills Jormungandr early. If he'd succeeded, Ragnarok might have been prevented, or started immediately. At Ragnarok, Thor kills Jormungandr. The serpent's venom kills Thor 9 steps later. Mutual annihilation. Zero sum. The serpent doesn't want to fight. He's keeping the world stable. Thor is the aggressor. Jormungandr is like the structural beams holding a building together. Try to break the boundaries? The whole thing collapses. Thor's a reckless force trying to tear it down. Hymir's the architect hitting the emergency stop button before everything falls apart. Bahamut, the absolute. Bahamut isn't a dragon, he's a fish. A cosmic fish from Arabian Islamic cosmology so vast that Earth rests on his back, but not directly. There are layers. Al-Qazwini's The Wonders of Creation, 14th century. Earth and heavens rest on an angel, on a ruby mountain, on the bull Kujata. 4,000 eyes, ears, noses, mouths, legs. On Bahamut, the fish, on an endless sea, on darkness, on the cosmic serpent. Bahamut holds everything. He is infrastructure. The name comes from Hebrew behemoth, corrupted through Arabic as Bahamut. The land beast mutated into a sea creature. Al-Qazwini writes, if all seas poured into one nostril, they'd seem like a mustard seed. Humans can't comprehend his size. Looking at him causes madness. He exists at the threshold of perception. Bahamut doesn't move, eat, or sleep. He exists. Existence depends on him. He's the foundation. If he shifts, reality collapses. Bahamut is the foundation of a skyscraper. You don't interact with him. You don't see him. If he collapses, the entire building comes down. He is the building. Dragons were never about fire and gold. They were cosmic boundaries, biological horror, and the limits of human comprehension. If you made it this far, you're legally obligated to like and subscribe.